You know, when what seems like a brand new motorcycle manufacturer comes onto the market and starts hitting the ground running as hard as CFMoto did, it makes everybody get a little skeptical, me included. And with all the CFMoto content on the channel recently, I figured I should probably make a video and come clean about CFMoto for you guys. So that is what we're going to get into today on a fun old school MotoVlog. Do you guys remember when I started the year, and I think it was the first video I made of this year, and I was like, guys, you know what I've been missing on the channel? I miss MotoVlogs. I miss just riding around and talking with you guys and it not being so dang serious and all this kind of stuff. And I think I even said something like, I'm going to start doing one MotoVlog a month, or I forget what I said. Something about once a month MotoVlog catch-ups or something. You guys have asked for me to do more MotoVlogs, and I am making a concerted effort to do more MotoVlogs this year. Well, here we are in the beginning of June, and the last MotoVlog I made was the one that I'm speaking about. So I have clearly absolutely crushed it on that regard. Anyways, guys, today we've got a lot of things happening with our 450 SS giveaway bike that have been taking a lot of my time. That's why we haven't done a WBRG episode in a couple weeks. And it made me think, like, you know what? I don't know if I've done a WBRG episode where I'm just out riding around. So today, I thought it would be fun, while we've got all these like bigger plans working and doing all the stuff in the background that make these videos happen. You know, the stuff you guys have no idea about. I figured it'd be fun to just get out here and go for a little ride on the 450 SS and talk about some stuff I see in the comments all the time, because what better platform to use to get my opinion out there than YouTube? But anyways, guys, yeah, we are going to be out riding the 450 SS. This is going to be a WBRG episode. If you guys aren't familiar, WBRG is the show where we give bikes away that I buy. I basically buy a bike, treat it as my own for a few months, and then when I'm done making all the content for you guys, exploring that motorcycle, we then give it away. So if you want to win the bikes, you can go to WBRGarage.com and get an entry. You can either get a membership, get merch, do whatever you want. The website will tell you how to do everything, and then the website also keeps up with your entries, and that's how we give them away to you beautiful people. So you guys that already support us, massive shout out, big appreciate it. Anyway, it allows us to make the content that we do for you guys, and it's a big support. We really appreciate it. And if you guys are not aware, we are giving away not only the 450 but the 300 SS. So it's pretty neat. We've got a double bike season, which essentially means every one of your entries is 2 entries, because you get chances for both bikes. That's not the road I want to go down, because at 4:30 in Atlanta, going down that road, you are just asking to get stuck in traffic. So we'll go this way. I have no destination today. I am just out riding. I have no specific place to go. So we're gonna be wandering around together. So guys, to really start this topic off, I want to get something out of the way. CFMoto, the manufacturer that creates the 450 SS, they make a ton of bikes. Not going to go through all of them. They make both the bikes that we're doing the giveaway for this season of WBRG, and I want to be 100% clear. Very similar to a lot of the people I see in the comments, when CFMotos first came to the market, I had no idea who they were. I had never heard of this company, and I started doing research and found out that they have been really big in the side-by-side game for a while, and they were kind of a behind-the-scenes company in the motorcycle space for quite a while, with being the production place or having some sort of production relationship with other manufacturers. So basically, what that means is other companies would have them make parts for their motorcycles. I think the most notable one at that point was KTM. At this point, I don't 100% know exactly the relationship between KTM and CFMoto, but my understanding thus far is that CFMoto was building engines for KTM. So they were doing the actual, behind the scenes stuff for a while before they decided to I don't want to say go independent, but kind of like start making their own products. So that was one of the things I didn't understand in the beginning. I was like, dang, how is a brand new motorcycle company coming out this strong and this hard? And that made a little more sense to me of why they could hit the market with motorcycles that were so much better than other Chinese brands that I had tried in the past. Now, I do agree, you know, the Chinese motorcycle has some stereotypes that it goes with. And one of the things I want to be very clear on is I do agree with that stereotype. I have tried other brands in the past. I'm going to be very delicate here. I'm going to be very nice and civil. I have tried other motorcycle brands in the past that were from China, and the quality was not to a degree that I would have personally bought from. Now, just because something is low cost and low-ish quality does not make it bad. There are people that are on an extremely tight budget and they can only afford what they can afford. So in situations like that, it's cool to have that in the market. But if you're looking for an authentic, good motorcycle experience, I wouldn't have pushed somebody to some of those other options that I have tried. But anyway, yeah, so just because I've tried stuff in the past doesn't mean I don't want to try other Chinese bikes in the future. And I'm down for literally trying and riding everything. I almost look at it as a part of my job. Like, I have to take advantage of my situation for you guys, right? I get opportunities with companies. They will send me products that I can test out for a little while, and it's basically up to me to put the miles in, test it out, and let you guys know how they are, because I don't want you guys to, like, I'm not having to spend money to try these things out, right? I don't want you guys to spend your money and then it not be the product that you want. Again, we're not calling products good or bad. It's more of they're not a right fit for certain people. And, yeah, I almost look at my... I'm just going to pull into here real quick. I almost look at that as part of my job for you guys is to be the guy that's like, hey, guys, look, I get opportunities because I'm lucky as shit. Let me use those opportunities to save you guys from getting products that may or may not be right for you. Okay, so one thing I do want to touch on that seems... Wait, am I going to go out exactly where I came in? Bro, that's hilarious. I just pulled into there, looked at my notes, came back out, and the traffic hadn't moved. Big cities. So guys, something I want to hit on is there seems to be a lot of confusion with the channel's relationship with CFMoto. So I wanted you guys to hear it from me so you understood it, and I can help you guys kind of understand how things work here on the channel, because a lot of you guys just watch the motorcycle videos and you're here for them. It's not, you don't really care about the back end of like how shit runs. So I will be happy to tell you about it. So the relationship this channel has with CFMoto is actually the exact same relationship this channel has with other OEMs like Yamaha and Harley and Indian and Honda. And it's that these big OEMs look at some of these big OEMs, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but some of these OEMs look at content creators like myself that make YouTube videos and some people that make other type of content on social media, and they look at us as an advertising platform, and it is worth their money to deliver me a motorcycle for me to ride around for a period of time and then give the bike back. They don't pay me anything. I don't, get any sort of beneficial treatment. I literally get a bike loaned to me for X amount of time. That is the extent of the relationship. That is how it's been with a lot of companies in the last few years. It's only probably been the last 3 or 4 years where companies have been really cool about loaning us motorcycles out. It was Triumph. I actually was the first company to ever loan me a motorcycle for a period of time. And I've mentioned that on the channel before. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Triumph because they were the legit first company to be like, you know what? We think you make valuable stuff. We want you to be able to make content on our bike for your audience. Here's the bike for a period of time. I will not forget that. It was awesome. But the relationship with CFMoto is the exact same. They contact me out of the blue, and they'll say, hey, we have X motorcycle that we have available. Would you like to loan it for a period of time? In which case, I say yes or no. And I try to take advantage of all opportunities given to me, which means I almost always say yes if I can. So, you guys are hearing that, and you're like, okay, cool, Chase. That's cool that you got a good relationship, and they let you loan stuff. But we see a ton of videos about CFMoto bikes. Why is this? And the answer to that is that while some of the videos you see are loaner bikes, currently we have a 800 NK in the garage. I know a lot of you guys are super excited about that first ride. It will be out in a few weeks. But a lot of you have noticed you've seen a lot more videos than just loaner bike content, and that is because I am giving away, as part of our giveaway show that we do every year, we're giving away this bike that I'm on, the 450 SS, and we're also giving away our 300 SS. Because those are our giveaway bikes, we try the absolute best we can to put out an episode on one of those bikes every single week. And we've also been doing this for like 8 years now. Nothing's changed. Last year we did it on the, we had a Yamaha R6 that we gave away. And it was in my best interest to make as many videos as possible. One, they're perfect because I can actually give you guys an owner review of the motorcycle. I don't have to just like give it back at some point. And also, the more videos I make on these bikes, the more promotion I get to do for WBRGarage.com, and the more you guys get to know that we give bikes away, which means my business does better the more videos I make. So, it is not that I'm trying to push CFMoto bikes on you guys. I mean, I think they're great bikes as like generally, but I'm doing this as our giveaway bike. That's why you guys see so much content out on the 450 and the 300 SSs. So a lot of people just, I think, see thumbnails and they start making comments on those thumbnails, and they might not have understood that we're doing a giveaway on them, and that's why you see a lot of content on them. So that's the kind of gist of the whole giveaway bike situation. So that's that. Now I want to talk about the first time I rode on a CFMoto bike, kind of getting back to the conversation of, you know, being honest about these bikes. I looked it up. I had to look this up because I wasn't really sure. So the first CFMoto I ever rode was in late 2022, and it was a loaner bike, the 300 SS, that they let us loan. Now, when I first rode that bike, that was when I noticed that, okay, this is a Chinese bike. I did come in, just like a lot of you guys I see in the comments have that haven't tried the bikes out yet. I came into that bike with like, okay, cool. It's a Chinese sport bike. I have an expectation here. Let's see if it gets met. And I will be honest, was the bike 100% build quality of what something like a Japanese bike would be? No, it was not. Here's the kicker though. That bike had the build quality about 75 to 80% of what a regular Japanese bike would have, but the price was far less than 75% of its counterpart. Is a car gonna pull out on me? They are not. We love that. So even though that 300 SS initially was not the same quality as the Japanese bike, the price reflected that, and it was still a very solid quality bike. It was not of the same level that other companies that we have not spoken of in this video. Now, 300 SS came out, tried it out. I was like, wow, this is surprising. I did not expect this out of a Chinese bike. Then things changed quite a bit. Now, guys, remember, the first ride was the first video I made with CFMoto, and the way these early relationships work is the company never knows what they're going to get when they work with a content creator. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. So there's really no future conversations when you initially start talking. It's like, hey, we're going to loan you one bike and we'll see how it goes type of thing. So First Strike comes out, they find out I'm not a giant asshole, and they really like the content that I made. They, dig our camera car and that sort of thing. So after that video comes out, CFMoto lets me know that they really appreciate the production quality that, we put into our videos, and the same stuff you guys tell us, that we really like the videos, we like it, have it structured, and it's still casual, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff about the content we make. They were stoked on it, and that's awesome for me and you guys. You know why? Because one, that means that they're going to allow us to borrow more bikes in the future, which means I get to make more content on more bikes for you guys. I look at that as an absolute win-win. I guess it's a win-win for CFMoto too, because they're not paying for video, so it's almost like free advertisement for their vehicles. So that's kind of how the relationship with them started. So yeah, guys, over the last year and a half or so, we've been doing a ton of loaner bikes from CFMoto and kind of building up that relationship, which has been absolutely fantastic. The more relationships I can get in the industry, the happier I am. And I actually got the opportunity to purchase some of the bikes that we got loaned. And that's happened before. I've had companies reach out after we do a loaner bike, and they're like, hey, we can either come pick the bike up or we can give you this chance to purchase it. That is actually how I got my MT10, my gold MT10, my 2019 that I've had forever. That was actually a loaner bike. That was not a speed bump, but I thought that was a speed bump. That's hilarious. So anyway, this has happened before in the past where a company's like, hey, we see you got that loaner bike. Do you want to buy it, or do you want to just give it back? Most of the time, obviously, I give it back because I am not a rich man and don't have tons of money. Regardless, though, the opportunity came up, and the bikes that I have purchased from CFMoto are the Ibex 800 MT that I have, or the Ibex 800T that I have. That's my ADV bike. I have purchased the 450 SS, and I have purchased the 300 SS. Now, the reason I really wanted to do that was, one, selfishly, because I could get a good deal on them, and that means I spend less money, which I love doing. But there were also selfless reasons, not only selfish. So, once I got past the selfish opportunity of being able to get a discount on motorcycles, because I already wanted an ADV bike anyway, I thought to myself, and I was like, you know what would be awesome? If I buy these motorcycles from CFMoto and I own the bikes, then instead of treating them like loaner bikes that will eventually go back to the company, I can treat them as an owner, and I can really dig into these bikes. And with them being a relatively new OEM in the market and being from China, I was like, I feel like this is a good opportunity, because if I own them, they're going to be in my house all the time. I can make whatever content I want to make on them. If you guys suggest videos, I can make those on them because they're just going to be here. And I figured I'll buy the 300 SS and the 450 SS. I'll eventually give those away. That's the first time I've seen a Cybertruck on camera. That's cool. You don't see a ton of those in Atlanta yet. But I was like, you know what? I'll ride around in them in a while. I'll really test them out. We've done a ton of content on the 450 SS. You guys have probably seen. And that way you guys can actually know what they're like to live with and own. So I thought it was a really cool opportunity to make some really owner-focused content. And I'm really happy I did. That led to me being able to make videos on the Ibex, like my Iron Butt, where I rode 1,000 miles in a day. It's led to this slew of content that I've made on the 450 because I own it and I can make whatever content I want. And yeah, I just thought that was a good idea for a brand that you guys were kind of unsure of. I was like, well, look, if I buy them and they're absolutely shit, I'll be able to make enough videos to hopefully I make my money back on the purchase. And that way I can let you guys know if they're worth the purchase or not. And that was the kind of plan I had with purchasing all the CFMotos that I have. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys my absolute honest opinion. This is like 100% how I feel about CFMoto bikes. I feel that currently, the 450 SS included, CFMoto bikes are 80 to 90% of the build quality of a Japanese bike just in general. We're not gonna, obviously bikes are different, but in general terms, CFMoto bikes are about 80-90% of the build quality of a Japanese bike. Now, they are priced accordingly to that build quality. And by accordingly, I mean you can get a great deal on a motorcycle from CFMoto because they realize that. Are these bikes perfect? Absolutely not. And to that comment, no bike is perfect. Trust me, I can find an issue with every single motorcycle because I review a lot of them. I have been doing it for a very long time. I have actively had to try to find things wrong with motorcycles. This is a very odd job that I have. So, an example of these bikes not being perfect. The clutch on the 450SS, incredibly light, and I don't really know if there's much I can do about that. My CFMoto Ibex, the power delivery in the rev range of about 4,000 to 5,000, it gets a little wonky. Apparently you can tune that out. I haven't looked into that too much, but apparently that's a thing. But every motorcycle has these little things that are, not perfect about them. That's really not a big deal. I do think generally these bikes are a fantastic value for what they are, and their production quality, or their quality for components, is extraordinarily close to the Japanese bikes, and they cost a good bit less. So it's a really good combo. See, the thing is about CFMoto, they seem to know exactly where they are in the industry. They know that they don't have a long lineage here in America of people knowing who they are. They also understand that they are a Chinese manufacturer that comes with a lot of negative assumptions here in America. What they have done is they have decided the best way to market their product is to give a great product at a lower than expected price that will surprise the customer based on when, how you pay a lot for something and you expect a lot out of it, whereas if you don't pay a lot for something, you don't expect a lot out of it. CFMoto have basically flipped that upside down to we're going to give you the price of a product that you're going to expect to have a lot of problems. And then when you actually use that product, you are going to realize it is absolutely way better than the price is showing. They have chosen that this is their marketing strategy, and they are also going very hard in social media, which is awesome because, granted, I'm a bit biased, but social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, this is the way that marketing is going. Like I said, I'm a bit biased, but companies need to start taking YouTube seriously, because if you want a brand new motorcycle, you watching this video, yes, I'm talking directly to you. I imagine that you are like me, and when you are thinking to yourself, I want a bike. I don't know what bike I want, but I want something that can kind of do this and kind of do that. What is the first thing you're going to do? If you're like me, you're going to get on YouTube and you're going to look for a motorcycle review of the motorcycle or one of the bikes in the category that you're looking into, and you're going to watch the review to find out if that bike is right for you. That is what I do, at least. CFMoto understands that, and they are really putting a lot of energy in getting their bikes on social media and getting them to content creators. And I love that. Guys, there are OEMs that I have not been able to contact at all, regardless of the fact that I've been doing this for over 10 years now. Or no, I've been doing bike reviews for over 10 years. I still have no contact at some of the big OEMs. Two examples off the top of my head, Suzuki and Kawasaki. Massive OEMs. These companies are doing crazy awesome bikes, and I have no contact with the company. They don't even invite YouTubers out to press launches on these things, guys. So you have these other companies who are just not taking advantage of the social media space, and it's just this old school thinking. And I love CFMoto for the fact that they are not old school thinking. They're hey, we got to be scrappy and get our stuff out to people. How the hell do we do that? Also, side note, where the hell am I? Wait, am I No freaking shot. Is this the little turnaround space? Is that the space that I went to when I made the first video back? Oh, it is. Guys, did y'all watch my first video back of this year? I'm pretty sure I brought my MT10 here. How the hell did I accidentally navigate myself here? And I was literally talking about in the beginning of the video, the MT10 video that I'm talking about. Dude, I got chills right now. How the hell did that happen? Okay, that was awesome. Oh, dude, I'm stoked that this happened. Holy shit. Okay, so I checked my notes, and it turns out my last note was the whole thing about OEMs and stuff like that. So, wow, I don't know how the hell this happened. I'm stoked on it, but I just don't know how it happened. So guys, to wrap up, basically, my relationship with CFMoto, exactly the same as all the other OEMs that I have conversations with where we're loaning bikes out and stuff like that. There's no, there's no behind the scenes thing, and they're not paying me for views, which is another whole hilarious conversation. If you look back in the history of the channel, anytime I talk good about stuff, people say I'm paid. So I'm just excited about the motorcycle industry and products, dude, and I think my excitement comes across a lot sometimes, and people, I think to themselves, there's no way somebody's that excited about something when they're not getting paid. Well, it can be. If they're just super stoked on stuff, they definitely can be this excited if you're into motorcycling as much as I am. But anyways, guys, that's kind of my long story about, my relationship with CFMoto and how we work together on the channel. I hope this video helps you guys understand maybe a little bit of, how the channel works with other OEMs. I don't know if you guys even really care, and if you don't, that's totally fine. If this video is not for you, totally get that. I don't expect you guys to care about the ins and outs of how to run a professional motorcycle channel in 2024. But if you are, you probably found this video incredibly interesting, and if you're not, well, you're probably not at this point in the video, are you? So here's the cool thing, guys. If you made it to this point in the video, you are in the outro crew, which means you made it to the end of the video, and I would like to personally tell you how much I appreciate you. You guys that watch the entire videos, it is such a massive help to the channel, and I really appreciate your time as you sat here and listened to me talk to myself. It was a good time. If you did make it to this point in the video, before you go down there and drop a comment with the letters OC in the beginning, make sure to like that video. And guys, let me know what you think about the whole how my channel works with OEMs. Is that what you expected a motorcycle channel to say? Like, how did you think it goes when I work with Yamaha or Honda or whatever? Like, is this along the lines that you expected, or is it a little different? I'm interested to see y'all's opinion. I'm Chaseontwowheels. I appreciate you guys riding around with me. I'll see you on the next one. Later. I'm stuck in this neighborhood and don't know how to get out. I'm gonna have to navigate home because I want to go home and I don't know how to get there. Luckily, I have the Beeline Moto 2 that'll get me home in the fun way.